Hello, everyone. I'm Maral, the director of Arpa International Film Festival. And on behalf of our visionary founder, Sylvia Minassian, our amazing jury liaison, Sonia Keshishian, and the entire Arpa team, welcome to 25th Arpa International Film Festival. Today, we have a filmmaker who was the writer, director, and the producer of a very important film with a very important message in between. Her name is Juliana Khanjian. We've kind of watched her grow in Los Angeles, and she attended actually the same high school that my kids went to, Alex Pilipos. And she had a passion for film from the beginning. We could tell that as she was growing up. So we'll ask her a little bit later when she comes on screen, to tell us a little bit more about that. But I think the passion turned into a little bit more than just a passion. She graduated from USC Film School. She worked as a production assistant on top tier TV shows. And without further ado, let's get Juliana to tell us a little bit more about herself and tell us what inspired her to make this beautiful film.
Hi, Maral.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, I'm doing great. I hope you're doing fine. We had a little bit of a technical issue a few minutes ago, but that's why we started a little late. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you.
Oh, it's okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Juliana Khanjian. I wrote, directed, and produced a movie that's in the Arpa Film Festival this year called In Between. And I grew up in Los Angeles. I grew up, liking film, but I didn't know that it was my passion or what I wanted to do until I was in high school and well into starting college. I've been working in the film industry for almost 10 years. I love every part of it. I finally decided after a really long time that I wanted to, be courageous and brave and jump off the cliff and finally make a short film since college. And this is the first short film that I've made since college, and it goes without saying, I couldn't have made it if I didn't have the inspiration that I had, which was growing up. I went to this camp in Los Angeles called AYF Camp, and I loved AYF Camp so much, and I always wanted to film something there. So when I finally decided to make a film, I was like, okay, I want to shoot it here. I know that I want to make something here. And I kept writing and I kept writing and I kept writing, and I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to write about. And then 3 years ago, my aunt was diagnosed with ALS, and within 9 months she passed away. So 3 years to the date almost, she passed away. And watching, and for those of you who don't know, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, it's your motor function shut down in your body, and you kind of lose control of your body. Your mind is still fully there though. And watching that decline was very difficult for me and for my family and for her kids and for her friends, because my aunt was this very vibrant person, and she was so, she was just the happiest person in the world, and she was so loving. And then just watching that decline, and then eventually her death was very hard to come to terms with. And I couldn't really come to terms with it until I started writing about it. And that's why I decided to write about, this girl that has ALS and has to make this decision of whether or not it's better for her to live or choose to pass away. So yeah, that's basically the inspiration for the movie, was my aunt, Hurik. Yeah.
Wow. That's you explained that so nicely, because it's we knew Huri. Our founder, Sylvia Minassian, and I were actually very good friends with her. So you know, that's exactly the way Huri was. Every time you saw her, she had a smile on her face. She would just hug you, and
Yeah.
she was just a very, very positive person. No matter what happened, she would always find something positive to talk about. So when we first heard about what is happening to Huri, we just couldn't believe it, because she was perfectly fine. I mean, there was nothing wrong with her. And then all of a sudden, from one minute to the next, you know, it was like she couldn't express herself. She couldn't talk. And we were all just very heartbroken. And when I saw your film, and I know you worked very hard on this film, I know that, because, and I also want to mention to the audience that Juliana worked on this until she literally finished it a few days before the deadline of the submission. So I'm so glad that you were able to make this film this year, because it's our 25th year. I mean, we have screened it next year, but it's different because we're going to have the gala, and we're going to get to you know, experience just an amazing time in a few days on the 20th of November on Sunday, and we're all going to get together and have the award ceremony. And so this is a very, very special year for all of us. So tell us, Juliana, a little bit more about how did you come about? How did you find the cast? How did this whole thing? How did you put the money together as the producer as well?
It was an experience for sure. I wrote the film in mind. I knew that I wanted to only have 2 actors in the film because I knew it would be very low budget, which is very true. It was a very low budget film. So I called on one of my friends, and I called him and I said, I need you to be in this movie. And he said, yep, absolutely, you got it, no problem. So I wrote a character just for him, and then with his help, I found Monroe, who's our actress who plays Vanna, who's amazing. Both of them are amazing. I asked so much of them in terms of like emotion and trying to like really dig deep into expressing what the character is going through, and they just have this knack of, you know, talking so much with their eyes, which was phenomenal to see as a director. But yeah, putting it together, I wrote the script, I rewrote the script, you know, it's a never-ending process. And then one day I was like, okay, we have to stop doing this. And then I slowly started, you know, calling everyone I knew and being like, I need this type of person, I need this type of person. And, you know, like everyone that worked on the crew is either a friend or friend of a friend of a friend, which was great. And we did a GoFundMe, which we managed to raise more than we had asked for. Me and one of my producers, Anais, I couldn't have done that without her. She helped put that together, and you know, like we called out all the stops, which was great. And then so once we had the money, once we had the location, I had talked to AYF Camp early on, and I said, hey, I want to do this thing. And they're like, we've never done this before. And I'm like, perfect. This is why I'm here. I will guide you through the process. So it was great. They were very helpful. Everyone was just very helpful, which was super nice. And the one thing I didn't expect out of the film was the fact that everyone that read it, everyone that wanted to work on it and be part of it, they kept coming to me and talking to me about these personal not issues, but like these people that they knew that had dealt with, you know, the very idea of, you know, contemplation of life or death, or just this idea of, you know, like which is better, like the struggle or, you know, the eventual move on. So it was a great process overall. Very difficult, but you know, it's not filmmaking if it's not difficult, right?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Writing is already the difficult part. I mean, it's like writing and rewriting it, and, you know, sometimes but I think the way you did it, it's very interesting. It's very simple. It's easy to follow, and I think Vanna did an amazing job, in my opinion. I mean, she really you really made me feel that she was Hurig, okay, your aunt Hurig,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But the thing that I was really, when I was watching the film for the third time last night, when the gatekeeper, David, says, I wish I had a few minutes of silence. Can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so in contrast to Vanna's character, I wanted, someone that's so close to death and like she has to make this humongous decision. And on the contrast of that is like someone that is stagnant and he has no decisions in life, right? Like he has to constantly help other people and he has this job that he can't get out of. And he's never been in a position or a place to have to think about the other person. And, all he wants is time to himself, time to just do nothing. But he doesn't get that because he's constantly being asked questions, like there's no guidebook to this quote unquote purgatory. Like you just show up, you open your eyes. Well, in the purgatory that I had created of like, just show up, you open your eyes, you have no idea what's going on. And then this gentleman comes by and he's just telling you like, hey, you might be dead, you might not be, it's up to you. You have time to decide. Go make your decision. So I just wanted the contrast of, like these two people feel stuck. One feels stuck in like constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again. And one feels stuck in this decision that she has to make of like, which one is better for me? Which one is better for my future? So that's David kind of in a nutshell.
Very,
He
very
just wants a break.
Yeah. It was like, okay, come on. It's like, give me a break. Yeah. It's just like, but you use the high technology communication, which is kind of nice, like Sevohanian's film, searching, and, it was like using iPhones, it's like, in this case, he was just hearing these people, it was just, there was no communication. What was he using? Something that was in his ears that as they were saying, someone is ready to.
No, actually, that was just Edgar, pure acting with no one talking to him. We had very long conversations about what the scene entailed and the fact that like really understanding that you are surrounded by all these people and you need to kind of feel that and understand that. I actually didn't even know that I wanted to add the voices or the echo or any of that until I was in post-production. Actually, one of my friends, Abo, suggested, Abo Kamburian, who's also a filmmaker, he was like, you need to just try something different. Him and my editor, Kunal Kitabjan, they're like, we should try something different here. We should try something different here. So with the very low budget that we had, I called upon more friends to come into the soundstage and recording booth and just record a few lines. And we kind of just layered all that and we added, we just kind of tried to build an atmosphere out of nothing. But that was Edgar, me telling Edgar, hey, like the actor who plays David, this is the scene, someone's going to interrupt you, and he's like, can you describe this person to me? So like on the spot, like I just created like, okay, he's like this, like imagine someone is just I was like, imagine me coming up to you and like asking you a question and you're just like, I can't even deal with you right now, Juliana, like exactly like that. But it's the character of like John, or I don't even remember, John, Layla, Lori. So yeah, that was all Edgar and pure acting, with nothing.
It was very, very nicely done, by the way.
Yeah.
That part was extremely nicely done. The thing that I liked also that really stuck with me, that I guess it's very special to me, is the piano.
Yeah.
Why did you use the piano?
Well, obviously I was inspired by my aunt. And my aunt was a pianist, not by trade. She did go to the conservatory and she studied music and all that. But like my fondest memories of my aunt, some of the fondest memories of my aunt where during Christmas, when the family would gather around, she would always play the piano and sing. Or every year she would call me on my birthday and I would never pick up, only so she could leave me a voicemail, and on the voicemail she would play the piano and sing happy birthday to me. So I'm very fortunate that I still have, you know, that on me. And I knew Vanna is her own character. She's just inspired by my aunt, and I wanted Vanna to go through this, her own journey, but I wanted this element of, you know, like something that she loved so dearly that she would never be able to do again, regardless of, you know, like her condition. And that's why I chose putting the piano in there. I wanted her to have something where this is an instrument where you have to use your hands. And one of the first things I thought her character lost was that ability and movement of her hands. And, you know, as a musician, I was talking to my composer about this when I was telling him the inspiration of the film. And we were talking about, you know, why I chose the piano. And we got into this very deep conversation. And he said to me, he's like, I can't ever imagine a life where I don't have the ability to use my hands in order to express how I feel, and like him as a musician. So, you know, like, and that's what it is. Like, music is a form of expression, and to the character it was the greatest form of expression. And, you know, that was kind of taken away from her. So I just really wanted the character to have that one last moment to kind of choose and make the decision of what she wanted to do.
Well, I don't want to give away too much about the film, because those of you who are listening to our conversation, I would like you, if you haven't watched the film already, in between, it's a very short film. It's between 13 and 14 minutes. So it's a very well told story in a very short period of time. And but the ending, you kind of, you want to tell us anything about the ending, or without giving too much, or is it better to just leave the audience to go and watch it if they haven't?
I'm just trying to think how I could say this without saying it. I think what I will say is, it's a decision that I have contemplated, not for myself, but like for my loved ones around me. And it's like, it's a conversation of like, is it better to live even if you're suffering from a disease, or in general, like, is it better to live even if you're suffering, or is it better to die and or pass on, and, you know, in this case, like ridding your family of the burden of having to take care of you. And because there was this perpetual guilt that is felt by the character and people I've talked to in life of like, you know, like, what's the point of me wanting to, you know, what's the point of me living if I don't have these abilities, or everyone is just constantly taking care of me and I can't even take care of myself. And it's a decision that I think is not, it's not black and white. It's such a complex choice to make, a choice that we don't actually have, but it's a complex thought of like, what's better for you, what's better for your family, what's better for your sanity. So I'll leave it at that.
I think you already said that's exactly what I wanted you to you know, hear from you, you know, because one of the things that you know, this is something, as you get older, like I am, you guys are still very young, but when you're my age, you know, you feel that you're getting closer and closer. When I had to go through this with my mom, you know, she was diagnosed with brain cancer, and she only had she was diagnosed on April 24th, and then she died in October of that year. So didn't really give us much time to be with her once. And again, just like Huri, my mom was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with her. And then all of a sudden she had a seizure, and then they thought she was having anxiety attack when I first took her to the hospital. until the doctor came and said, what are you guys doing? Just take her in and, do an MRI. And that's when, it just hit us, it's like, how can I lose my mom that, she was not even 80 yet. And, but, you are always faced with those things, and you don't know what's better, whether it's better that they don't suffer for too long, or whether it's, it's right now, some of the laws in California actually is such that I know someone, an engineer, astronaut that, had Parkinson, and he made the decision to not live longer than he had to, because life had lost its meaning for him.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't want to go too much. I don't want to go there too much. I think that you did a very good job of dedicating this to the story of your beautiful, amazing, smart, excellent piano player who used to play with anyone who would ask her to accompany her at the school at the Alex Pilibos,
she was my teacher.
She was teaching piano there, and the song that you used, the piece that you used, I think you did an excellent job. That was beautiful, beautiful.
That was not me. That was all Ara. That was all my composer. It was literally I met him. I went to Armenia for 2 months because I couldn't be in LA. I needed to rewrite the film. So I went to Armenia, and my friend Kiso introduced me she's like, oh, I'm going to lunch with my friend. Do you want to come? I'm like, absolutely. And I went and we started having a conversation. He's like, oh yeah, I play the piano. And I'm like, oh, perfect. Do you want to write the music for my movie? And he's like, sure. And he wrote it off. He's like, oh, whatever. And then I kept bugging him like, Ara, we need to meet. I need to talk to you about this. And then we finally met, and I told him the story of my aunt. And we had this, as I said, like this very intimate, very deep conversation about music, love, all these things. And then 2 weeks later, he wrote the piece, and he's like, I have it, it's done. And I'm like, okay. He's like, please let me know if you like it, give me notes, whatever. And I went to his house, and he played it for me. And I was speechless. I'm like, I have no words. Like, this is perfect. I couldn't even have told you, I couldn't have said it better myself, or like, I couldn't have like written this music better. You took what was in my brain and you put it onto the piano, and you just wrote it out, and it was amazing. And he is amazing. He's an amazing pianist. And like, I don't think this movie could have been what it was without him. So I'm very thankful that I have had like all these people that just keep coming into the film, and, like they're bringing a part of themselves. And, it's what makes filmmaking so fun, is like the whole point is not to have an impact on other people, right? Like, I made this film for myself in order to help with my grieving process. And, in the process, like, so many people have come up to me and told me like how beautiful it was, and how it really helped them have an understanding or deal with their pain that they've been going through. So I've been very fortunate. I've been very lucky with this, which is nice. Yeah,
it looks like everything kind of fell into place as you were going through the process.
That's movie magic, Maral. That's movie magic.
It's movie magic. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the new magic you're planning to make in the next few years.
Yes. So I'm currently trying to write the next thing. As usual, we're always just looking for inspiration. So I'm writing a few things that I'm hoping to make soon enough. I'm also working currently on a TV show for a writer, which is great, which is a lot of fun. But I have nothing in the prospect as of right now, but there's always things brewing. That's just how it is. But I just want to take this opportunity to say, like, thank you to the Arpa Film Festival for creating this platform, especially for Armenian filmmakers. Like, growing up, like, I didn't really have that access or opportunity. Like, of course, the Arpa Film Festival existed, but it felt a little more disconnected. And as I got older, and as I started to actually pursue film, like, finding Armenian filmmakers through Arpa Film Festival, or just in general, and having this common bond has been the greatest thing about like working in film, like one of the great things is like this network that is now being built around Armenian filmmakers, which I love. And you know, I think Arpa Film Festival has been a big part of that. And you know, I just want to say thank you for creating this festival and creating a platform for, you know, people to try to find and figure out you know, filmmaking and going into the film industry.
Yeah, that well said. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Juliana. And you know, that's what Sylvia Minassian is all about. I mean, when she founded the Arpa Foundation for Film, Music, and Art, film was part of that. You know, she had a lot of music events, as well as art exhibits and art sales in her own home most of the time. And film was part of that Arpa Foundation for Film, Music, and Art. But then 25 years ago is when we all sat together and we said, okay, we got to concentrate more on something, and then we will still have the music and the art. But that's when we decided film is the way to tell a story, to have people write their stories and then put it in, just like The Promise, you know, having one movie made about the genocide told us so much, got the world to know about the Armenians. And sometimes that's all it's, you kind of said it, it's the magic, you know.
Yeah.
And so you go into a theater, in an hour and a half later, you come out, you feel like you traveled through this medium into another country, into another, how should I say,
world,
culture, another world.
Yeah.
And you come out of the theater and you feel like a different person.
Yeah.
At least it takes you away, even during the pandemic. You know, it's like having to watch, you know, online films virtually. You know, it made you feel like you're doing something other than just sitting around and waiting to see, you know, what's going to happen next with the pandemic. So anyways, this was really nice. This was a great conversation with you. I learned so much about the film, which I didn't know about the composition at all. So this really made it very special for me.
Yeah, great.
And again, I want to remind everyone once again, if you don't have your tickets yet for the gala, you know, we have amazing 80 films from 27 countries on Eventive. And hopefully everyone around the world is watching this right now. And please watch those films, but start with the in between now that you know a little bit more about it. And there is going to be also an audience award. So you can rate the film when you watch it. So I don't know why they did this A to F, because people around the world are having a little difficulty with that. But here in the United States, it's our rating system. So make sure you rate those films as you watch them, so that, you know, the filmmakers will get a chance to win you know, the popularity award, you know, People's Choice Award. So anyways, we will announce the People's Choice Awards at the gala on Sunday. And we are going to have close to 500 people at the gala. So it's going to be an amazing event. And this is for the filmmakers. So this is for all the filmmakers to come there and enjoy the evening and watch, talk to the other filmmakers, get on the red carpet and make memories the way we've been making for the last 25 years. So again, thank you again, Juliana, for taking the time. I know you're going to go right back to work. You're a busy lady, busy filmmaker. So thank you again for taking the time. And my greatest, biggest thank you I want to give to John Santos, because without John, I couldn't have done this for the last few years. And again, we've been having live Q&As throughout the festival, and we'll continue having it until Tuesday. We will have two more. You will have 2 more days after the gala. So once you know who the winners are. You can go back and watch them again, and you can watch some of the all the films that were selected by the committee for the rest of the week and until next Tuesday. With that, I just is there anything else that you wanted to add, John or Juliana?
No, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for giving my film the platform in order for people to watch it. I'm very grateful. And thank you, John. I know we've been dealing with some technical issues. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Maral, thank you for being so kind and taking time away from your work to talk to me about this film. And I just want to say, if I don't ever get this platform again, I just wanted to thank my crew and thank everyone that donated to the movie. I couldn't have done any of it without any of these people, because filmmaking is a collaborative process, and you know, it's so much fun to be able to take something that's in your head and be able to show it to different people and them bringing their expertise and their opinion into it. And you guys are just creating something that you never, whatever the start product of the film was and what it became are two totally different things. And the entire process has been amazing. Thanks to everyone that has touched the film, that has talked to me about the film, that has participated in working on the film. So big thank you to my crew, big thank you to my editor, big thank you to my sound designers, to everyone, and to the donors, and to my community that supported me. So thank you.
Thank you. Also, I want to add one more thing, and Araxia Karapetian, Fox 11, featured us yesterday on a very beautiful segment with Araxia and and her co-host, and we're going to have a beautiful event on Sunday, and looking forward to see you there, Juliana, with your family. So and you too, John. So again, thank you for everyone and for watching this, and continue supporting those filmmakers because they have stories to tell. And as they said it yesterday on Amanda said yesterday, you know, these are stories, they are important stories, and we need to be heard. And the fact that this is the Women's Year, you know, women in filmmaking is being, we have more films from women this year, directed by women this year than previous years, as John can attest to that. So again, thank you for making this beautiful film to honor your auntie, and she's looking from above and watching everything we did today. So I'm sure everything went well because they were watching us from up there.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.